What's going on, everyone? This is Nate the Great coming to you live from the All Sports All Plays Network. I am here today just with Greg Galno. And wow, as of the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about doing really some post game / live reaction shows that are going stuff that are going on right now. Jazz Grizzlies going on right now. But Islanders and Bruins, that was a crazy game. And same with the 76ers and the Washington Wizards. But we'll cover that in just a bit. But first off, let me ask an important question. How was today for you?
Oh, today was really good, Nate. It's just a time to reflect and remember all our veterans and those that have paid the ultimate price, for our freedoms and everything. And it's just a really good day with family and everything. It's a beautiful day out here on the coast of Oregon where I live, and I couldn't ask for a better day. And I just, it's a day to truly remember those who have served and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for us.
Yeah. Today, I have just a white shirt on. Well, I say that because we went over to the Renaissance Fair, and so I kind of dressed up after the Renaissance Fair into the sword that I got earlier today to match the shield and the robe and all this kind of stuff. So today was a pretty fun day for me. And again, I wanted to repeat exactly what Greg said. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you to everybody out there that's serving or did serve in the military at any branch. So let's get right. So before we get right into that, I wanted to remind everybody just to please, if you're Facebook, share the shows that are going on right now. YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Twitch, Twitter, share those as well. So let's get right into the first game. Now, 76ers, they played the Washington Wizards. Wizards won this game. This was the first win for the Washington Wizards. But it felt like for me, it kind of took an injury from Joel Embiid to get this win to happen.
Yeah, the 76ers have been on a roll. It looked like they were on their way to really sweep this series out and everything. And then Embiid left fairly early in the game with a sore knee. I really don't know exactly. I haven't heard any more on the severity of the injury or if it's just a precaution. But the Sixers just kind of lost a little bit of momentum there, and then here comes the Wizards. The Wizards got Bradley Beal hot. They got Russell Westbrook scored his 12th triple-double in the playoffs in this game. So just a fantastic team effort. I mean, it was only an 8-point difference, 122 to 114.
Yeah.
Missing Joel Embiid, who, in my opinion, is definitely a top 3 MVP candidate. So to miss his presence, not just offensively, but defensively, I think that was the difference in the game. If he had stayed in, I think that this would have been a sweep.
I probably won't agree with the top 3 candidate. That's just personally speaking.
Right.
But I will say this. Depending on the injury, if it's serious and he's probably going to miss the rest of the series, I think Washington's going to make history and become the first.
You think they're going to come back from 3-0?
Yeah, they're going to make history and be the first to do that. I seriously, depending on the severity of his injury, if he's back to the next game in Game 5, then yeah, it's 76ers victory easily. But if
it's really sad. I don't know how serious this injury is, or if it's even an injury. At this point, if he might be back for Game 5, but they've been talking for the past several years. Can Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid play together? Are they ever going to have chemistry? Are they ever going to be able to put it together? And this year, they've been playing lights out basketball. Best team in the East, coming out this year. So they really put it together with Simmons and Embiid, and they were really flowing. They have the chemistry. They have great defense from both those guys, Simmons and Embiid. Great defensive presence. Embiid, he's great offensively, but he's even better defensively. I mean, the way he alters shots and can block shots is just outstanding, and he's an excellent rebounder. So his absence, the Wizards just really took advantage of it. They got Bradley Beal, some great looks from three. Russell Westbrook came in, and he pretty much did it all today. And they spread out the floor and got their offense going and really worked the middle once Embiid was out. So I don't know if Washington's going to be able to come back from 3-0 to win this thing. But, it's going to get interesting if Embiid's going to miss some time with this.
And so to move on, we're going to keep this a little bit of a short episode today. To move on, let's talk about the game that's going on right now. Utah Jazz, they're playing the Memphis Grizzlies. Jazz are up. The Grizzlies are surprisingly keeping this very close. They're up 72-69. As I said on Sports Status the other day, I thought the rest of the series was going to be a blowout, and obviously I'm wrong. I was wrong on this. Currently the leading scorer is Donovan Mitchell, who has 16 points in this game. But even though Donovan Mitchell's performing really well, they're only up by 1.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the Grizzlies is they're just one of those scrappy teams. I know that we've been talking about the Utah Jazz and are they for real? Are they for real? We've had this conversation before in the past, right, Nate?
Oh, yeah.
And they definitely have a great team. They have great chemistry. They're one of those teams. They don't have a ton of huge names, on their roster, but they got some decent names and they all play very good team basketball. But, right now you're getting an outstanding effort, not only from Morant from the Grizzlies, but, look at Dillon Brooks. He's already got 17 points in this game. Okay, Dillon Brooks, he's kind of playing above expectations, at least in this game, and he's really giving them a fantastic effort. But, yeah, Jay Morant, he's definitely one of those up-and-coming future All-NBA type players. He can do it all. He can get skills. He can get up and down the floor. He can throw it down like nobody's business. He has great handles. He can dish the ball really well. He's working on his shot. So he's got terrific skills. And the Grizzlies are just one of those teams. There's a lot to be said come playoff time when you got a team with nothing to lose, and that's what the Grizzlies are. They came in and they don't really have anything to lose, so they're playing kind of loose and everything, and they're playing their kind of basketball. They're getting up and down the court and really putting the pressure on Utah. I think that this would probably be realistically a 3-0 series right now if Mitchell wouldn't have hadn't missed that first game. Statistically, because the Grizzlies kind of squeaked by even in Mitchell's absence. But it's kind of interesting to see that Memphis is playing this top-notch basketball against the Jazz, who on paper is a much better team.
So like I said with the 76ers post game, when I gave my hot take, I think that if Donovan Mitchell was out for this entire series instead of just that one game, I think Grizzlies would have swept the Utah Jazz. Even though game one was close, I still believe that. If Donovan Mitchell played that entire series, I I think that this would have been a sweep in Utah's favor.
Yeah. Yeah, because Mitchell, he's already got 20 points in this game, and he's on fire, and 20 points and 6 assists right now, and it's and I think it's what, in the third quarter or so right now. So he's probably going to have a good
Yeah.
30 plus points tonight. But the rest of the team right now for the Jazz, other than Clarkson and Gobert, they're not really getting a whole lot. I mean, you see a few guys. No one else is really even sniffing double digits right now. So a
Okay,
few other guys need to step in.
So scratch what I said about it being a close game. It was a close game, but as soon as I did a couple more shares, it's now 82-73. So, but anyways,
you know what you need to do, Nate? You need to be an announcer for some of my favorite sports teams when they're losing or they're in a close game, and then talk about how bad they're doing, and then maybe they'll go on a run. Like when you're watching a game,
that would be funny.
And they're going, "Oh yeah, this guy has hit 46 free throws in a row," and talking them up, and then boom, he clang,
That would be so funny.
Oh. Yeah, this guy hasn't had a technical his whole career. Oh, he's just getting ejected. Yeah.
It just reminds me. I'm going. I know I'm getting off topic, but I saw the Vikings Packers game when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Now Aaron Rodgers getting hurt, that was not a great thing for him. I get that, but I did, however, think it was funny that the announcer did jinx Aaron Rodgers getting hurt during that game. So that just reminds me of that. So let's transition and move away from NBA. Talk a little bit of hockey. Now tomorrow is what we know. There's only going to be one hockey game: Lightning versus Carolina Hurricanes. So let's go ahead and talk about your team actually. The Islanders versus the Bruins. Islanders won today in overtime to beat the Bruins 4-3.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and give it, since that's your team here.
Well, Nate, how many overtime games are we going to see in these NHL playoffs?
Yeah, that's.
It seems like every night, if there's more than a game or something, there's always at least one of them going to go into sudden death or overtime. So, yeah. So I'm just very pleased that the Islanders came out and had a lot of grit. When you look at the Bruins, picking up Hall and the other moves that they made at the trade deadline and everything, on paper, I think that they are probably the stronger team between the two. But my Islanders, they've been coming out. They've been playing great defense all season long. I know they gave up 3 tonight, but it isn't bad with a high-powered offense with players like Hall.
It's nowhere. It's nowhere like yesterday, where they gave up 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nowhere like the Vegas Golden Knights, or they gave up 7 against my Avalanche.
Well, yeah, and I think that when you look at that series between the Avalanche and the Knights, that'd be one great Stanley Cup final to watch, really, and here it is, the second round of the playoffs. Don't you think that'd be a really good matchup?
Well, I would say yes, but that was until I saw game 1. And I'm kind of curious to see if we're going to see more games like Game 1.
Yeah, I don't know. The Avs were on fire. I really don't know what was going on because they've been talking about how Fleury was going to be the MVP of the playoffs and all this stuff. And yeah, they had no answer last night for what the Avs were throwing out.
And he's not playing in Game 2 or Game 3 either.
Yeah.
Because he got ejected. So.
Yeah, it's hard to win the Conn Smythe trophy when you're sitting on the bench. So I had to get that in there. But yeah, going back to the Islanders, though, yeah, it was a hard-nosed game. I mean, it's exciting hockey. You're talking about two teams that, Boston probably has the edge offensively. The Islanders have been a gritty team all season long. They're a hard-hitting team. You got Barzal in there, enforcing and getting some penalty minutes and trying to protect his teammates. And then they picked up Palmieri, who's been giving them an edge offensively after Anders Lee, who was absolutely tearing it up this season, went out with an unfortunate ACL tear a couple months ago. So yeah, the Islanders, they played great today. The Bruins didn't play too bad either, but I'm just really glad that I think this is going to be a pretty competitive series. Don't you, Nate?
Yes, it's going to be competitive. And so I'm going to go ahead and transition the last game of the night to talk about. And this is also going to transition into what I will be talking about on Sports Status on Wednesday. So stay tuned in for that at Wednesday at noon o'clock Central Standard Time. It was Game 7. Toronto Maple Leafs, they lost. They lost today, which I thought they were going to win because the last, off of a recency bias, the last time that a team has pulled a 3-1 comeback was in 2015. Nashville Predators, I think, was the last team to do it. I can't remember exactly. Or was it against Nashville Predators? I don't remember. What I know is that they were involved in that series. So Toronto, a lot of people in a Facebook group I'm in are saying that Toronto is cursed because they are terrible at winning series closers.
Yeah, about Toronto being cursed, but I'm a little embarrassed right now about my time traveling abilities because I've been talking all season long how the Maple Leafs were the real deal. They played really solid hockey all season long. I thought that they were going to make a pretty good run in the playoffs. Remember, Nate, I was on the hockey show singing their praises.
Yes, I remember that.
But then I switched gears and I switched to another team that you might know of.
Yeah, I remember
their praises.
Yeah, Avalanche. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
So yeah, my time traveling abilities were a little bit off on the Maple Leafs, but my realistic abilities as far as the Avalanche, I think, have been pretty spot on, even before other people agreed with me. Because I saw the potential in the Avalanche, even when they weren't a top tier team yet. They had the potential, but they hadn't put it all together, and now they're starting to put it together right at the right time. But the difference in this game was basically, it was a pretty competitive game, pretty hard hitting game, through the first quarter, and then the second quarter, the Canadians just kind of busted loose with a couple goals, and then both teams scored a goal in the third, and it ended up being 3-1. But yeah, the Maple Leafs, their defense kind of got a little bit soft, halfway through the second period, and that was the big difference. But yeah, it was a hard hitting game. We had about 60 good hits within this game. So,
which I will
yeah.
We'll talk about a little bit more about that. But as of right now, we're going to close this off. Greg, do you have any final thoughts before we get this close?
Aren't you kind of glad though that the Canadians are doing something? I mean, it's been a long time since
Yeah,
the Canadians kind of did anything, and, you know. They're one of the most well-respected teams in the league. I mean, they tore it up in the early days of hockey, you know, and they've kind of been off the radar for a while. So it's kind of good to see both those teams in action, you know, fighting for the second round today.
Yeah, like I said, stay tuned for Wednesday because I'm going to be doing a preview of their game against the Winnipeg Jets. But as of right now, this has been Nate and Greg signing out. See you guys next. Actually, see you Thursday for the full count.